Greetings, my name is Mr. Good and Kinky. In this video I am going to talk about the problems of hell in a nutshell. Fundamentalist Christians and Muslims love their hellfire and brimstone bullshit because it is as sadistic as they are. Anyone that tries to throw this bullshit at you, the first thing I would suggest that you nail them on and force them to answer is hell physical or spiritual? If they say it is spiritual, then you should point out to them that fire is a chemical reaction of physical elements maintained by physical oxygen. And that even if an energy body would exist after we die, that there would be no logical reason to presume that it could feel pain or pleasure because it would have no central nervous system, nerve endings. There is also the aspect of fire could not hurt something that is, to use the term, a ghost. Fire would no more burn a ghost than spraying a ghost with a squirt gun would make it wet. The fire and water both exist in a dimension that the ghost does not, so it wouldn't matter to it. If they want to try and say it is physical, the first thing you could nail them on is where's the proof? If they try to say it is in the center of the earth, laugh at them loud. Because the Bible gives a temperature limit of hell. Because it says fire and brimstone. Brimstone becomes liquid sulfur at 444.6 degrees Celsius, which is 832.28 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the maximum temperature of hell. Now, you could ask, what's the temperature of heaven? Because if you would ask these people, which is hotter, heaven or hell, guaranteed all these Christians and Muslims would say, hell's hotter than heaven. It's in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 26, where it says, "Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold as the light of 7 days." Which means heaven is 50 times hotter than earth. Which means the temperature would be 525 degrees Celsius, or 977 degrees Fahrenheit. Which means heaven is 144.72 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than hell. But for the Christians and Muslims, maybe it's a dry heat. And in case you're curious at what temperature human skin ignites, human skin ignites like a torch at 480 degrees Fahrenheit, or 248.88888 degrees Celsius. So even if they would try to say about you would be tossed into this hell, you could let them know you wouldn't even hit. Because one of the things it was mentioned with the Inquisitions, that there were two ways of people being burned at the stake. One was they were tied to the stake and the fire was around them. And there, in case you're curious, it took about 10 minutes for them to die. It's 10 minutes for the skin to ignite and boom, you're done. There was another way where the person's arms were tied behind their back with a rope and a lever that the executioner could lift them, literally, over the fire. Like they're a fucking turkey. And what they found was it took roughly the same amount of time, maybe a minute longer. But the difference with that second way was they were more cooked from inside out when they were over the fire. Because one of the things when you have fire, any fire, there will be an area of hot air right above where the flames are. That you don't even have to be down in where the fire is, as you're going down from above it, you will feel the heat from the fire. It's just like if you've ever been close to a fire that is a building that's burning or whatnot, you can only get so close before the heat that is radiating from it, you'll feel it. And it'll be getting hotter and hotter the closer you get to. And the thing is, when you're talking temperatures of that magnitude, you wouldn't get anywhere close before you would ignite. And the idea of a God that would intentionally make your skin regenerating, you would still be constantly a torch. There's no way you would survive. It's absolutely impossible. It also shows an extremely sadistic nature of their God. But once again, just because these idiots that want to try and say about hell being in the center of the earth, the temperature at which lava comes out of the ground is, and I'll give you the Fahrenheit first, 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Or Celsius, 700 degrees Celsius to 1,200 degrees Celsius. It is vastly hotter than what there would be in the biblical hell. There would be no brimstone in lava. It simply wouldn't exist. But what this shows, scientifically, is that the Christian's doctrine of hell, it's impossible. It is absolutely, bona fidely impossible. Now, the last thing I will point out in this is the word Sheol and Hades. Sheol in the Hebrew, Hades in the Greek, both of them mean the grave. It does not mean the center of the earth. Nothing in the Bible means the center of the earth. The only place that can be taken as referring to burning children in fire is Jeremiah 32:35, which was the valley of the son of Hinnom, otherwise called Gehenna. However, according to Jeremiah 32:35, the God of the Bible said he never thought of burning children in fire, which raises the question of Isaac and Abraham and Isaac and others with the Bible, but he also calls burning children in fire an abomination and a sin. So these things, they just don't work. This idea of a hell is absolutely impossible. But this is Mr. Good and Kinky, Greg.